Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over my drugstore favorites. I can't remember if I've ever done one of these. I don't think I ever have, but I finally have like a good lineup of all drugstore products, like actual drugstore, like CVS, Walgreens. I have a pretty good like mix of everything from primers to highlight and bronzer and foundation. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. Sorry if you can hear some banging, they're doing construction next door. We're gonna go past that. So first things first, I want to start with a favorite primer of mine. Now it's from Maybelline, and it's the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Filling Primer, or Instant Pore Eraser. I just lied to you. Now it's just your basic, like kind of silicone feeling pore filling primer. I would compare it to, it's not even so much the Porefessional. It's a little bit different than that, and it comes out clear. But I do love to use this in conjunction with my mattifying primer that I use. It's not drugstore, so I'm not going to include it in this. I might include it in next month in like a favorites video. But for only a couple dollars, I would prefer buying this than the Benefit Porefessional. They both do the same job for me. The Benefit Porefessional definitely does like a little bit more of a pore filling and less of a slippy job. It just has a little bit more of like mattifying properties as opposed to this, which is truly like pore filling, like silicone feeling. But I still love it for that, and that's why I keep buying it. This is maybe like my fourth little tube of it. So I typically put it like in my T-zone area and like down my nose, again on top of a mattifying primer. But using the two together, I have just been loving this so much. Okay, now for foundations, I have quite a few. I have three favorites right here, and I'm going to kind of try and go through them as quickly as possible because you have seen them on my channel before. My most recent favorite, and the one that I have spoken about most recently, is from Covergirl, and it is a Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation. I'm in the shade M20. Now this is obviously very well loved. It's covered in foundation. But for 1 ounce, I think I paid about $12 for this, which I think is a really reasonable price for such a great foundation. It does keep me matte, but it's not too matte. It's actually what I'm wearing right now. I do have highlight right here, but you can even see like right in these areas here, it's a little bit more of a skin finish, and obviously you can tell it doesn't emphasize any of my pores or anything like that. I've worn this out to concerts in the summer and it has stayed on. The shade is almost perfect to my skin tone, and I think it's just like a really great overall foundation. If you're looking for something even less expensive, but you also are looking for the same kind of properties like long wearing, mattifying, but still comfortable to wear, I would suggest this from Wet n Wild. Now it's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I'm in the shade, what am I in the shade? 366C Buff Bisque. This is a little bit more neutral undertoned, and it matches my skin pretty well, not exactly, but there is enough of a shade range for you to find something that works for you. I think I only paid about $4 to $6 for this, and it's 1 ounce. The only drawback with this is that there's no pump. It kind of comes out in this kind of messy paddle, as you can see here. It can get a little messy, and it's not the most hygienic thing, but again, for the price and for the performance of the actual foundation, I'm willing to overlook it. So the next foundation I'm going to talk about today is something I don't really talk about on my channel a lot, mainly because I only have it in my self-tan shade, which I obviously am not right now, but it's from Maybelline. And it's the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation. Now this is a little bit more full coverage, and it does have titanium dioxide sunscreen in it, so it can give you a little bit of a flashback, but honestly, I wear this in the summer, and that's why I only have it in my self-tan shade, which is 45 Sand Beige. This literally will not budge. I mean, even when I go to take it off, it's a little bit like, okay, like I'm ready to go to bed now, but I think I paid maybe $13 or $14 for this. Again, it's 1 fluid ounce. It comes with a nice little pump there. But again, it will do the job. It stays on. It's a little bit more full coverage, and so if you're not after that, I wouldn't go straight for this. I'd maybe try the one from Covergirl. But if during the summer you're looking for something that's full coverage but like won't slip, which can be really tricky, I would suggest this. It's a really great option. So next we're going to move on to setting powders, and now I have two types of powder here. one is pressed and one is loose. These are my two favorite drugstore brands. I've repurchased these over and over again. To start, I guess we'll go with the pressed powder, and this is from Rimmel. And it's my very well loved Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the shade 001 Transparent. Now the only drawback with this is the packaging for me. It's just a very basic lid that can easily pop off, especially if you're traveling. So if you are traveling with this, you do have to like tape one of the sides to make sure it doesn't go everywhere. But where it is a pressed powder, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Now I use this kind of all over my face after I've freshly done my makeup. It works really well on a beauty blender to really get under the eyes if you don't feel like baking but you want a really smooth look. This will work really great for you. I think it was only about $4 or $5 and you can find it everywhere. I typically get it at Target, and Ulta has really great sales on this as well. Now if I'm looking to really set my under eyes or bake under my contour, I will use a loose setting powder for that, and I will use the Coty Airspun powder. See if that will focus here. I'm sure you all know it. I have only found this at Walgreens. I have not found it at CVS yet. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. Again, simple packaging, just a lid and a container. So if you are traveling, you definitely want to tape it down. And the smell is a little bit like baby powder with like a hint of orange zest in there, and so if you are sensitive to smells, I might pass this up. For me, it doesn't bother me because it goes away after a little bit, but when you're applying it you can definitely smell it. But a really great inexpensive, maybe like $6 or $7 for, how much do you get in this? For 2.3 ounces. There's plenty of product here and it does a really great job of smoothing out those areas. So next step is bronzer. Now this is a bronzer I love using, and I use it no matter what shade I am. If I'm self-tanning, it still works. If I'm at my palest, it still works. It really depends how you layer it and how you apply it. It's another product from Rimmel. It's the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and this is in the shade 021 Sunlight. Sorry, there's a crack in it, but it is a matte bronzer. There's no shimmer in it, and it's really great if you're looking for a like natural, like sun-kissed look for the face. And if you just keep applying it over, it will kind of give you a more natural looking contour. But again, like no matter how much I apply this, it truly is a natural bronzer like it says. It doesn't make me look too cakey. It doesn't make me look too muddy or dirty almost. It really just blends so well with the skin. And just like with the transparent powder, it is only about $4 to $5, and you can find it at Ulta or Target or CVS, everywhere. But I have had the best luck getting this at Ulta with their sales. I actually forgot concealer, so we're gonna go back a little bit. So after my foundation, obviously I apply my concealer. Now, this is a staple. A lot of people have this, and it's not the most hygienic product, but I do love the way it actually applies. Now, it's a Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. It's like really dirty, sorry. Now this kind of clicks up into a little sponge here, and you stab it all over and blend like so. I typically keep it like here down, and I bring it up here, and then I go right below my brow. I typically put a rather similar concealer to my actual skin tone right under my eyes, because I find that this it's not like the concealer's fault, it just makes me look a little bit old and crepey just because it's not super hydrating. But if you are young and, and youthful, unlike me apparently, this would be great under your eyes. It really does lift the whole area. The shade range isn't amazing, so you definitely kind of have to make it work if you are looking for that lifted look. I mean, this is a little bit yellow for me, but it still works. But I have seen people of all skin tones use this and they make it work. It does give you that same uplifting effect. This doesn't crease. It lasts all night long, especially if I am like out and it's really hot. I have not had any issues with this. My pinky was out. But an overall really great product. Again, you can find this pretty much everywhere, and it's only, I would say, like $4 to $6. Okay, so next we're going to move on to brows. So to start, I'll go over what I use to fill in my brows. I typically just use a pencil and just give them like a natural looking fill in. The one I've been loving is from NYX. I'm sure you could expect that. I use it in all my videos. And it's the NYX, what is it, the Micro Brow Pencil, and I use the shade Taupe. Now, similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz, it has the spoolie on one end, if it'll focus, and a very fine tip on the other. This retails for about $10, and you can find it not only at your regular drugstores, but also Target. I've seen it at Bed Bath & Beyond, and where else have I seen this? And obviously any drugstore. Why I actually prefer this over the Anastasia Brow Wiz is because it is a little bit less pigmented, and so I can kind of go in and actually make mistakes and not feel like it's the end of the world. The shade range is really nice. It has a decent amount of cool and warm toned and lighter toned colors to choose from, and so I think for $10 as opposed to paying $20 for the ABH, this is a great alternative. Next, to kind of carve that out, if you are one of those people like me that can't use a concealer brush, or I don't know, you just have a lot of trouble like carving out your brows and making them really sharp looking, I really like this product from NYX as well, and it's the Wonder Brow. I don't know if that'll focus. There we go. And it's actually upside down. But this is in the shade, what is it? WP01 Light. And it's just a really basic pencil here that I like to use to kind of carve out my brow. It's really easy to really get right under my brow and blend it out. I find that it doesn't look strange even if I'm not wearing additional coverage. I think this was only like $5 at the NYX store, but I have seen this elsewhere, especially at Ulta. They do carry this, and yeah, really great product. Now, if you're someone like me who sets your brows, but you want something that's, you know, it gives you enough hold, but it doesn't kind of like tear at your brows, especially if you move, like kind of pull them out. I find that the more I almost do my brows, like the less my brows grow, just because I'm constantly tugging on them. And I think that a brow gel that almost stays too much isn't that great for them, just in my opinion. But a great happy medium I've found with this product is from L'Oreal, and it's the Brow Stylist Plumper. And what shade is this? And this is medium to dark, so it's just a brow gel that's tinted, and again it has that really nice smaller wand, so you can really get in there and get those like finer parts of your brow without kind of staining the rest of the skin around it. This does give you a really nice amount of hold without feeling too cement-like or too heavy. It does come off really easy as well when you're washing your face. I think I only paid like $6 to $7 for this, and I got it at Target, but I will link it down below. I'll kind of look around for where it's the cheapest right now, and all the links down below will kind of be where I've seen it cheapest. So the next product I want to say is also from NYX. NYX is killing it these days for me. It's also the last product I'm going to talk about because I don't have a favorite drugstore setting spray quite yet. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. I would love to try them out. But the highlight I want to talk to you about today is from NYX, and it's the Duo Chrome. And I got the shade Synthetica, so this is really interesting. So it's a Duo Chrome, and it looks kind of orangey, but it has a really nice pink reflex. So I don't know if you can see. Let's try and get that to focus. So it's like golden, has like a nice pink reflex. But then when you blend it on your skin, it just gives a nice natural highlight that you can really build up. Let me see if I can get... I've applied quite a lot there, but even if you apply like a whole lot, it'll still blend into your skin enough, but it's a little bit fun. So if you want like a natural highlight like over here, you can just apply a little bit, or if you want something a little more intense with the pigment, you can just keep going. It has like a nice like pink there, and then like the gold right there. This is only a couple dollars, and I did get this at Target. I know when they first came out, they were like so hard to find, but I really love using this, especially when I am suntanned or I have self-tanner on. It just like looks so nice, so natural, and just kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Okay, you guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Insta and Snap and Twitter at JohnnyBoots143, and comment below on what you'd like to see next. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.